Well, it happened today. It's Saturday, and yes, while several places had a snow day yesterday, and then it all melted away, you can see the road's fine. I'm gonna have to brush off this car and maybe do a little shoveling, because I don't know if it's gonna go away today. Good morning. Oh wait, that's not working. Oh, I'm gonna drop my phone. Hey everybody. It's time for me to clean the car off so I can get in it and just have some Saturday errands to run. So happy Saturday. Hope your day's great. I hope you have lovely, fantastic weather where you are, like we do where I am. All right, old winter gloves were toast, so I've got new winter gloves to put on. Ooh, LL Bean fancy. They are pretty fancy. My old gloves are actually LL Bean deerskin gloves. I still have them, but the insulation is pretty impacted. But they're still good working gloves. They're still good gloves. They're good gloves. Buy good gloves, people. Yeah. All right, let's get to this. One of the ways you know your car is old is when you crank on the defroster, you get little bits of what I can only assume are dry rotted foam insulation from the ducts blown out onto your dashboard. Well, you know, 251,000, what is it? 251, getting a weird reflection, 471, woo, and going average, not going strong. On this snowy Saturday morning, I attempted to get some photos of this cool feature at the campus of St. Ursula Villa, the school where my wife works. It's the former LeBlond estate, and they have these drip concrete elements in the landscape design, most of which are gone, but this cool bridge still remains. I ran all these errands just now for the lovely and talented missus, and I'm just not in the habit of taking my good camera with me wherever I go, and I kind of wish I had, because it's this kind of interesting, you know, day. The snow, not a lot of snow, but enough to get on the branches of the trees, things potentially worth photographing. And all I've got is this, my iPhone. Now, I did take a couple of pictures just now by the school, because we got this cool old drip concrete bridge, and it looked pretty cool in the snow. So maybe while I've been talking, I will have let you see that. All right, here's a little Miami River for your entertainment. Don't you hate it when you forget about a load of laundry in the machine, and so you come down to put another load in, and then you have to reload or rewash the load that was in there. Towels too. Let's hope they aren't stinky. I'm sure you're in breathless anticipation for the sand volleyball update from last night. I totally blew that off completely. I'm kidding, of course, but we did win 2 out of 3. But we were playing the team that was tied for last place, so we really should have won all 3. But we had kind of 2 subs, sorta. So we had to find our mojo, and we didn't find our mojo in the first game until it was too late. Oh well, 2 out of 3 is not bad. All right, it's Saturday. You know what this means? This means work around the house. I've got some painting prep to do, so I'm going to have to fill some little holes. And I also have that handrail I painted that I need to install. So there we go. close enough to fitting those. I already did the first one, so I know it's gonna work. Don't want to do that. All right. Now I will need some assistance. I was not anticipating having to scrape this morning. Luckily, we're only doing one song, Haydn's The Heavens Are Telling from the Creation. So I'm not worried about the rehearsal. But what most entertains me with my noisy car is that maybe in the background, if I stop talking, you'll catch the birds. They seem to think it's a fine spring morning. Sometimes I'll gently tap the scraper on the tire to knock the stuff off of it. Except for this one time I did that, broke it, snapped it right in two. Typical Dave doofus maneuver. Hey, good morning. It's Sunday morning. I'm your Cincinnati dad, and heading off to church. Woo! Sorry about that little bit of bad filming there. The boy and the wife are fast asleep. They participated in a cancer fundraiser benefit thing last night, Night for the Fight for pediatric cancer. So they were up all night, got home about 7 a.m. and went to bed. I, as usual, when the missus is not in bed with me, I did not sleep well. And so I was up, poking around on car parts and Craigslist and stuff, eBay, looking at stuff for the TT since it is in the shop. Well, will be in the shop, I should say. The parts are on the way. It's not in the shop, which is a problem. Anyway, and was up until like 3. So I'm going on about 4 hours sleep, 4.5 hours sleep myself. All right, let's go make this day. Woohoo! All right, I'm gonna let's see with a hand. Okay, let's go. It's going into work time. Another rainy morning. Somebody's up on the treadmill. Jim's got his Porsche. And work continues over here. Hey, happy Monday. Let's make this week. Let's get this thing rolling. That's all I got. I'm trying to upload a video right now. So I gotta stop filming because that stops that. That app has to be open for that to work. All right, see you, bye. I almost forgot to remind you to like the video, subscribe if you want to subscribe, and ring the bell if you want notifications. Yeah, these are obnoxious reminders. So while I'm reminding you of stuff, don't forget about the merchandise links down below, because maybe you want to buy some Cincinnati Dad stuff. All right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. See ya. Got my fancy pointy shoes, got my fancy vest on, Target on clearance. I'm gonna do an unusual thing on Monday and go to my favorite sandwich shop, Shoppy. But just wanted to, show you the same old hallway. Pretty boring work day, meeting Monday, wherein we meet. We have lots of meetings. This is what we do. That's why we refer to it as Meeting Monday. It's the day like you have to come to work, basically. Some folks, if you've been here 3 years or more, which I have, you have the option to work 4 10-hour days if you want to do that. Sometimes, and it's, it doesn't have to be a permanent schedule that you choose, but it can't be on Mondays. So I don't know, they don't want people always taking a 3-day weekend, I guess. Which is, I get it. You pay people to work, not to not work. That's actually an interesting concept that I think some people aren't really understanding of, I think, in some regards. I talked about that when we had our summer and into the fall hullabaloo about benefits and stuff like that, and PTO carrying over and all that, and joke at the time was, but it's actually semi-serious. Having come from a family that was a small business owner and then marrying into a family that were small business owners, it is very expensive to pay people to not work. It just is. Those kind of benefits are costly for the business owner, and until you've been in the kitchen table discussions with the person whose name is on the company, and even when there's 20 employees or 80 employees or 7 employees, it's a different perspective about those costs and what those costs mean to the business owner and where that money could be going, where it should be going, and it's just benefits and all that kind of stuff is a part of an employment package that we all want and love. Me too. They are expensive, and we know that here in the modern world. Healthcare and benefits, insurance is very expensive. I think it was a GM CEO at one point said, I don't really want a car manufacturing company. I run a benefits company. All right, I got to go. There's a cop up there. I have my seatbelt on. So see you, bye. Anyway, now that I'm safely belted, because I was talking into the phone, which is a stupid reason not to put my seatbelt on. Stupid. Don't do that. Whoever it was that said that about the GM or whichever company it was, that we just sell cars as a way to pay for administering the benefits. Wow, that's pretty funny. On a lighter note, I'm familiar and friends with a family that owns an ice company here in the area. They're actually pretty big. They're multi-state. And at one point, just for fun, we got a tour of the facility, which is pretty cool to see the big ice making machines, how they do that. I had the notion that the majority of their business is actually logistics and trucking. And I told that to my friend who's the CEO of it now, and this family business. I said, you don't really own an ice company, you own a trucking company. You just happen to deliver ice, truck. That's what you truck. All right, see you, bye. There we go. Mission complete. I have to put my seatbelt on. Sandwich obtained. If you are ever in this Norwood area, I encourage you to shop here at the J&W Sandwich IP, because they got good stuff. It's a neighborhood joint, and those are good enough reasons right there, right? You want a huge sandwich too, right? You want a big sandwich. You don't want a little sandwich for $5.20. You want a big sandwich for $5.20. All right, I'm gonna go back to work and eat this sandwich. See you.